YouTube, how are you now? So BattleBit Remastered just released update 2.1.1. A lot of good stuff, a lot of weapon adjustments, so not going to go over all the patch notes. If you want to look through it, I'm going to link the patch notes in the description, but we're going to primarily go over the weapon adjustments because there are quite a few changes here, and I'm going to compare the new time to kill chart as well, because this does change things up quite a bit. So these are just muzzle flash for snipers, so primarily focusing on the actual damage and fire rate changes. So the Famas damage was increased from 24 to 26, so it's going to make it a 4-shot kill against 100 health, where it used to be a 5-shot kill. So this makes it a lot faster time to kill wise against no armored enemies. Still mid tier against any type of armor, but 100 health it's going to kill pretty quick. So I don't know if it's going to make it good enough because it is still mid-tier among the assault rifles against every other armor type, and it does have quite a bit more recoil, but it should be considerably better against no armor. So we'll check it out, see how it is. Muzzle flash SG550, default sight on the L86, some buffs to the ult specs, but nothing time to kill wise. AS Val, nothing time to kill wise, but they reduced the horizontal recoil dramatically from 1.9 to 1.2 and increased the accuracy as well, and then also increased the damage drop off from 20 meters to 40 meters. So it's going to make the gun a lot better. So it was really good time to kill wise before this buff, but it had so much horizontal recoil and low magazine capacity that it wasn't the greatest, but it should be a lot more consistent now. We'll see how good it is with that lower magazine capacity though. But it should be a lot more consistent as long as you're hitting your shots, but it should be a lot easier to hit your shots. So I'm definitely going to check that out, see how it is. Should be pretty good. Honey Badger damage was lowered from 32 to 28, but they decreased the recoil dramatically. So vertical recoil was decreased a little bit, and the horizontal recoil was decreased dramatically from 1.9 to 1.1. And they also increased the accuracy and the fire rate from 800 to 880, and then also the damage drop off from 20 to 40 meters. So time to kill wise, the Honey Badger looks good on paper. It did before, but I didn't like it because it was so inaccurate. The horizontal recoil on top of the low magazine capacity made it very inconsistent for getting kills outside of close range. So this changes things up a little bit. It improves the time to kill against 100 and 112, but it decreases the time to kill against 125 and 143. So it's not as good against higher armor, except 162, but it is better against lower armor and no armor. So it's a trade-off there, but it should be a lot more consistent with that lower recoil. So definitely going to check that out, because I believe this used to be 225. I believe this used to be 225 as well, and then this was like 300. So these two are a little bit slower, these two are a little bit faster, but it should be a lot more consistent. So definitely going to check that out. Should be a lot more consistent now. G36 vertical recoil was increased slightly, horizontal recoil was decreased to 0.84, so this should bring it more in line with like the M4. The M4 was a lot more accurate than the G36, so this should make it a little bit more competitive. We'll see how it stacks up against the M4 with the best attachments. It should be still slightly worse as far as recoil goes, but it does shoot faster, 750 rounds per minute compared to 700. So we'll see if it's good enough to replace the M4 or not, but you should be seeing some more G36 as well. UMP 45 damage increased from 25 to 28. Recoil was increased slightly, velocity lowered, and then damage drop off was lowered from 50 meters to 30 meters, so it's going to drop off sooner, but the damage was increased. So the UMP 45 wasn't that great. It still isn't that great TTK wise, but it was really accurate, so it still should be really accurate now, just not as accurate as it was before, but it is slightly improved as far as time to kill, because this used to be like 500, this was like 343. So it is improved there time to kill wise slightly, but I don't think it's enough to make it that good, especially with that damage drop off, because the UMP 45 was better at those longer ranges because it was so accurate. It would lose pretty much everything up close, but it was better at those longer ranges, so having that damage drop off, I don't think that's really going to make it viable. We'll see if it gets more use, but I don't think it's going to be that great. PP 2000 damage increase from 23 to 24, reduced vertical recoil, fire rate increase from 900 to 1000, but damage drop off from 50 to 30. So PP2000 wasn't that great time to kill wise, but now it's actually pretty good. Mid tier against 100, and then really good against 112 and 143, and then mid against the other armor types. But faster fire rate, a little bit more damage, so it should be a little bit better. As I didn't really care for it when I tried it. I just tried it briefly, but it should be pretty good now. So definitely give that a shot as well. See how it is. And that's it for the weapons. So very interested to see how the AS Val and the Honey Badger perform. They're still probably not going to be the greatest just because they have the lower magazine capacities, but they should be a lot more consistent with those recoil buffs, considerable recoil buffs. So the horizontal recoil was pretty much halved on both of them. So they should be pretty good, a lot more consistent. Definitely check those out. Probably try the PP2000 as well, see how that is. Maybe the Famas and the UMP. I don't think the Famas and the UMP is going to be changed too much, but try it out, see how it is. But I'm definitely interested to see the AS Val and the Honey Badger. Yeah, that's all the changes for the weapons time to kill wise. Haven't played BattleBit for a while. I was waiting for this update. I was thinking it was going to come much sooner than it did, but it took a little while. But we'll jump in and see how the new guns perform. Interested to see how they are. So I didn't want to try them out too much until they made the changes and see how they are. But yeah, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.